Well, we told our friends we were ordering an RV, and we invited our friends and neighbors, and they said, well, where are you going first? I said, I'm going to New York. They said, New York City? I said, yes, I'm going to New York City. It's where I grew up. I'm comfortable there. And we picked up our RV here, I think, on Tuesday. And we drove to State Park, upstate New York, stayed there overnight. And it was 24 degrees that night, the first night we were in it. And our RV, named Andiamo, was incredibly comfortable. It was 65 degrees in. The heater worked great. It's a S-Bar diesel heater, and we were really, really comfortable in the campgrounds. Packed up the next morning, drove and visited friends in New Jersey, and then next day we took the Lincoln Tunnel, went into Manhattan. And the Lincoln Tunnel drops you off in lower Manhattan, not in lower Manhattan, but in lower mid-Manhattan. And I had thought in my mind, where would we park? And I thought, oh, okay, I'll find something on the west side in Chelsea. And it took me between 10 and 15 minutes to find a legal parking space, a non-metered legal parking space. And this was on a Friday morning. We were there. And we stopped and parked, and I stayed there for 3 days, till Monday, from Friday morning through Monday afternoon. And slept in the van and toured Manhattan as went to see our favorite sites around and some of our favorite restaurants, and had no issues with the van on the streets of Manhattan. And one morning we came back, we went out for coffee. We were actually on 17th Street and 10th Avenue, right next to the Chelsea Market. The Chelsea Market is a block-long food market, essentially, with bakeries and soup shops and kitchenware shops, and it's wonderful coffee shops. So we were about 50 yards away from that, so we ate there quite a bit. And we came back, we had coffee, and we came back, and we looked at the van, and next to the van was a mound of garbage. Garbage bags were piled up almost to the top of the van, and more than the length of the van. And we said, uh-oh, it was garbage day. And when we got closer to the van, we saw it was recycling material. So it was non-perishable garbage. And then shortly thereafter, the recycle truck came and took all the bags away. But that was quite a sight. So how did I find Advanced RV? I had retired about 4.5 years ago. And I always thought that I would love to repeat my experience of driving cross country in the summer of 1969. And back then I did it in a small car with a one-man tent, and I'm not doing that again. So I started to look for RVs. And since I live in the city, I live in Chicago, downtown Chicago, I wanted an RV that was kind of stealthy, and I'm also into technology, and I wanted an RV that was state-of-the-art. So I started looking at Class B RVs. It's just my wife and I, and they seem perfect for us. You could park it on the street. We want to visit cities as well as go tour the national parks and go to California. And so I looked at all of the Class B RVs that were available, and all of them for me missed the mark in some regard. They just weren't, I didn't like the fit and finish of some. I didn't like the lack of available options. I didn't like the fact that some of them were using old technology. And an important thing for me was I was not really comfortable driving around with propane tanks, and that just didn't appeal to me at all. So I kept looking. I really wanted, I'm getting older, I really wanted to get into this and fulfill my dream. And I saw a very small one sentence little blurb in some RV magazine that there's a new company called Advanced RV in Willoughby, Ohio. And so I started to get on the internet, and I found information. It wasn't easy. I think this was when you first started. I found information, and the information had a vision statement in it, and that was right in tune with what I was looking for: state-of-the-art, kind of stealthy, really. And the more I looked into Advanced, and the more I looked into the philosophy behind it and the people behind it, I was really impressed. So we made an appointment to come out and look at the drive from Chicago here to look at the RV. And I was even more impressed when I actually met the people and saw the RV and listened to the vision. We went back and discussed it back to Chicago and looked around again. Couldn't find anything that came close to the quality of build, and the image that I had in my head for an RV was exactly this image. So we ordered one, and here we are. Well, the most important design feature. I'd always envisioned a van that, in my research, that worked off of, you have a wonderful fuel source in the diesel fuel, and I wanted a van that worked off diesel fuel and, as I said before, didn't use propane. And this van really fulfilled my wish list. So I'm a relatively inexperienced, I'm a camper, but a tent camper, but relatively inexperienced with RVs. Only had one, and that was a long time ago, and that was a Volkswagen. So I had thought of a wish list, and actually the standard features in the advanced RV exceeded my wish list. So having put 3,600 miles on the van now, there's really nothing that I'm missing, nothing that, and many things that I'm enjoying that I wouldn't have included myself in the van, including the Silverleaf management system, which really is a joy and is absolutely worked perfectly in terms of managing all the functions of the coach, the heating, the water pumps, the water heater, the climate control. It's just pretty an amazing setup. We haven't really cooked in Andiamo yet. I mean, we've heated up things. We've made prepared foods ourselves and put it in the freezer. And the freezer is wonderful. I mean, and the refrigerator is wonderful. It keeps things very cold, even when the van gets hot. And we just simply use the microwave to defrost things. So we haven't embarked on an ambitious cooking regimen yet with that. But I am planning on cooking in the van. Oh, my favorite meal to cook. Well, I have lots of favorites, but I love Italian food. My mother-in-law is Italian. My wife's Italian, and her parents, her mother was born in Italy and came over here when she was 13. And the reason we named our van Andiamo, which means let's go in Italian, is that was one of her mother's favorite sayings. Andiamo. Anything Italian is my favorite thing to cook because that's what I like to eat. My experience with Advanced RV has really exceeded my expectations on virtually every level. I spent 42 years with the same company, and I was vice president of sales and marketing. And customer service was huge in our business. It should be huge in everybody's business, and it's huge and good at exceptional at Advanced RV. I've had nothing but good experiences from my first contact to today, my most recent contact. It's really important that companies listen to their clients, and Advanced does listen. I got to customize things in the van, which was great. Got to pick out colors. And it's a complicated vehicle, so little things go wrong. Nothing major went wrong. I'm back here for a couple of minor repairs, and some of it is things I just don't understand. So I'm back for a little more training, and the people here are exceptional from the owners on down. It's a great atmosphere, and I really am enjoying my experience here.